to be retightened. So then that did get retightened. It's just that the left rim that just didn't get changed, and that's why.
Exactly. So again, we were halfway through a left side operation when the official call that the right rear had an issue came, and so then in that moment, to be honest, everybody just kind of froze, and so how we froze and how the left rear didn't get changed, the left front did get changed. That ultimately was the issue, because going back to fix what the potential issue was on the right rear, that happens. We've seen that in the next gen era, and I would argue that let's just say that stop would have been a 20-second pit stop, would have hit the 12th. So I don't even know that we would have been one lap down at that point if it weren't for having to pit again. Having to pit again is ultimately what sucks.
You mentioned like a lot of the adversity that the teams have to go through, but like in a situation like that, how have you or how can you practice something like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard, and what's interesting is there's so many different choreographies that can go wrong of pit stops, especially with how tight the margins are, and everybody's playing fast and playing hard. We do have what we thought was a pretty deep notebook of things that we are aware of and things that we practice, but we certainly added a page to that today.
Cliff, I got to ask about Homestead. Obviously, Larson loves that track. Just what's the optimism level heading into that track, and what are the expectations for you guys?
We just don't treat any track differently. Came into today with all the hype around we won 2 in a row, and we should be really good here, and we still weren't operating with that type of mentality. The field is so tight; these races play out so different, week to week, year to year, that you just can't go into a race with that type of expectation. The expectation that we have is of our team, of our process, of how we perform, how we execute. That's our expectation, is what we can do as a team to make sure we're hitting all the marks that we need to hit. The outcome is the outcome. Nobody can really foresee that or be able to predict that. So we're going to continue to work on our process and our operation and make sure we do all the right things right. And if we do, then I've got a lot of confidence in our group.
Awesome.
And forgive me if they asked this already, but after you had all those issues, how quickly did you guys formulate a plan, kind of say, all right, let's go from here?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to do that as quick as you can in the moment anyways. And the unfortunate part about what happened is we knew that the left rear tire didn't get changed, so we really had no choice but to come back in and get it changed in the moment. And then at that point, it's just fighting for the lucky dog, and Kyle did a great job to put us in position for that and just salvage all that we could. So, we wanted a lot more than an 11th place finish, but all things considered and seeing the trouble some of the other guys had, I'm still proud of our group to get back to finish 11th.
And was there any thought that you guys were going to run it long, or was it just cut it?
Yeah, I mean, at that point, we weren't. I think for some of the leaders and the guys maybe in the top 6, that was kind of a viable play, and for where we were, we just didn't think it was that viable of a play. Having to get through traffic, and I want to say we started in the 20s that run. So we were a little bit behind, where I think that would have been more viable to finish better than what we did. So our bed was kind of made, but for some of the other guys, I can obviously see how it made sense, and of course it worked. Thanks.
Sure.